Looks like the rumors were true. There is going to be an Xbox developer direct next week, and they're going to go over things like Hellblade 2, yes, Avowed, Our History Untold, but Indiana Jones. That one legit surprised me, and I'm going to come back to that, but the main thing I wanted to highlight here is how stacked of a year it looks like 2024 is going to be for Xbox, with 6 releases this year instead of the 5 that they had last year, because there's 2 games that are mysteriously missing from this lineup of the 4 that they have here. But even with all these choices, will outsiders even bother to try these games? Will any of these get nominated for Game of the Year? Who knows? But for now, just hands down, there's going to be a shadow drop at this event. And I'm not saying this because of, somebody told me, or that's what everybody else is saying. No, I'm actually coming to this conclusion myself. And the reason I'm saying that is because there needs to be a game released in this first quarter of the year. Everybody at the Xbox, or at least the higher execs, they were on this roll in this plan of saying, we want to release something every quarter of the year. And last year they did a great job of that. And Phil Spencer was saying, yeah, he sees that at Gamescom last year. But yeah, they had something in January, April, May, September, October last year. Super well spread out. That's exactly what I wanted for them to do, and they did it. But now it's been over 3 months since Forza Motorsport. That released in October last year, and we are now in January, and it's now over 3 months. So what's the next quarterly game? You see what I mean? So it's like, it'd be very surprising to not get some kind of a shadow drop here, or at the least them just saying this is coming out within the next couple weeks. That's totally fine. If it's like an early February game, sure, but there's got to be something. So what could it be? My money is on Our History Untold. As much as like, look, I'm just saying it's the most safe expectation to have. Because Our History Untold, we've known about it. It's the latest game for this studio. I think it's Oxide. It's a second-party game by Xbox Game Studios. And this studio's last game was in 2016. So with that in mind, I don't know. It just seems like this was revealed in 2022. It's going to be a strategy, city builder type deal. And yeah, it might not be the most exciting game for you, but it will probably be their game to cover the first quarter this year while they build things up. That is a safe expectation. Now, the fun hope would be what I was saying in the video that I put up last week about the Activision games coming to Game Pass. Watch that if you haven't. Is sure, Double Fine's Killin' Project, which is, rumored. But then another one that I didn't bring up is Compulsion's, another game studio at Xbox now, their latest game, South of Midnight. Now, we got this reveal in 2023, but their last game was also, funny enough, in 2016, like the Our History Untold team. So that could be it, but then there was this whole potential mishap. Somebody at Xbox or something might have leaked saying that South of Midnight's coming out in 2024. So that could happen. I don't want to expect it, I will hope for it. But then again, if that happens, then I'm going to want to play that right then and there. And I want to freaking start Diablo already. But we have to talk about the surprise thing here, because let me just first say, Avowed and Hellblade 2, super excited that those are there. That's awesome. I want to talk about Indiana Jones, but just really quick, Avowed, I'm going to say that is the first big game from Obsidian since it got acquired by Xbox. Because, yeah, they released The Outer Worlds, but that was with Private Division. And there are 2 games that they've done with Xbox, other than DLC for Outer Worlds, is Grounded and Pentiment. And those are 2 games that I would classify at kind of like the indie or AA level. But this is their first kind of bigger game, their big RPG that they are releasing with Xbox Game Studios. And I would classify Obsidian as the golden boy or child, whatever it's called, for Xbox. They have had the most consistently well-reviewed games. They are constantly releasing games too. They are doing a great job for Xbox to be like a great team that is turning out great stuff for them. So I'm really looking forward into diving into this. But Hellblade 2. You guys know, if you follow me, I'll link my reaction above here as well to the latest Hellblade 2 trailer. That is my most anticipated game of the year. Hellblade 2, I'm so excited for it. But yet, I don't want to see more of it. They're going to have another deep dive with Ninja Theory, the developers. as much as I don't want to see more, I feel like I don't want to spoil anything more, because that is a game that it's going to be all about the narrative and the experience, and the less I know, the better. But I kind of feel like I need a bit more. I feel like I need just a bit more, or just some crazy sequence to really get me feeling a bit more of what the game is going to be and to build my hype for it, but we'll see. So I'm really excited about Avowed and Hellblade 2. Don't get me wrong. But the thing that caught me the most, like, what? kind of a thing was Indiana Jones. I was not expecting, I didn't see anybody else speculating this either, seeing Indiana Jones in this developer direct. Because I think Indiana Jones would have been showcase material. That is a very iconic character, and that is a big get for Xbox that we know through the whole FTC case. That's going to be an exclusive to Xbox. So I figured that would be showcase material. But it's in this developer direct. And if everything in this direct, which everything is other than Indiana Jones, like Indiana Jones is the only one that hasn't been confirmed, but these are all games coming out in 2024. Our History Untold, Avowed, Hellblade 2, they're all coming out in 2024, along with the 2 mystery games that I'm about to bring up that what isn't for some reason in this direct. And I guess it kind of makes sense. Like I kind of was predicting Indiana Jones would come out this year, and it was revealed over 3 years ago now. And I'm sure they were working on it a bit beforehand. And if you look at Machine Games, they do a good job of turning things out. Like they release things pretty dang consistently. So this would not surprise me if it's being released this year. To add to the exciting roster that we got, please be a third-person game. Please don't let us... I'm curious if you disagree with me, but I don't want to be seeing through Indy's eyes. I want to visually see that I am controlling him as a character. I love having a stand-up desk, if you couldn't tell. But yeah, I'm excited to see this 10-minute deep dive. It's not all going to be gameplay, but it's going to show us our first look at gameplay. And it makes me wonder if Bethesda has to bring something to these developer directs every year and showcases. Because last year, Bethesda kind of carried Xbox, if you think about it. They released Hi-Fi Rush, Redfall, which reviewed terribly, sure, and Starfield. But that was 3 out of the 5 first-party games that they released last year that were like brand new titles. I'm not talking about like Age of Empires 4 and Quake 2. I'm talking about like brand new first-time release titles. They covered them last year. And even the developer direct last year, I think that was Redfall, ESO, which is going to have a presentation after this, by the way. I didn't mention that. And Hi-Fi Rush. They carried the developer direct last year. So it's like this year, I was like, all right, you guys get a break. But no, I guess they brought Indiana Jones, and I wonder if that is because Xbox told them, like, hey, you know, we're going to let you guys develop what you want to make and everything, but we do have deadlines, and ideally, we want you to bring something to the direct and showcase when we do them. So maybe that's what happened. I don't know. But I think it's ready. I have faith that it's ready, looking at how constant Machine Games releases. But this year, if that is coming out in 2024, this is a lot. Because the 2 games that were not on this whole roster is Microsoft Flight Simulator and Towerborn. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 and Towerborn, those are 2 games that we got told in the showcase last year were being released in 2024. So I'm wondering why they're not here. Are they like so far off? Are they maybe like super in the back end of the year that they didn't want to show them? Maybe Towerborn is going to be that shadow drop that I'm saying that just kind of appears in the developer direct. Maybe. But I just find that very interesting that those 2 games are not here, and they chose like Our History Untold instead of those 2 games, where Microsoft Flight Simulator, I guess, got like millions of views when they revealed that 2024 trailer. So I don't know. But I just figured that this is the developer direct. This is the show that they do to get us prepped for what's coming in 2024. And I like that for the first half of the year. And then the back half, they started off with the showcase that's talking about the overall future and a glimpse of it. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But with all this in mind, that'd be 3 first-party releases, being Avowed, Hellblade 2, and Indiana Jones. And then the 3 second-party releases that Xbox Game Publishing is carrying, by the way, is Our History Untold, Microsoft Flight Simulator, and Towerborn. That's going to be 6 first-party games released this year versus last year's 5, which would be wild. And ideally, they'll spread these things out. Really ideally, if they say shadow drop something for the end of January, release something in March, then another thing in May, July, September, and then November. Perfect. Spread it out. Make us feel like there's something constantly happening. That would be great. Game Pass, it's becoming daunting, man. Game Pass is just paying for itself if you are using it, if you are not ignoring it and just throwing a fit about it. There is just so much to freaking play this year thanks to that. I just even found out before recording this, freaking Pal World, that Unreal Engine Pokemon shooter game, whatever, real-time action, is going to be coming to Game Pass the day after this Direct. Was that announced previously? I don't know, but it makes me wonder, with everything outlined here that Xbox did in 2023, can they top it? Can this year top what I outlined here that Xbox did last year? That was a lot. You know, there's more than just game releases. There's the presentations, there's the story beats, there's the marketing beats. Can they top that? Watch that and see, and I'll see you in the Developer Direct next week.